Hello, everyone. We're right here, right now. I'm Rachel Chase, and you're listening to the Creative Empowerment Show, Invoking Radical Love with me on the amazing Transformation Talk Radio Network and KKNW, and also simulcast on my Facebook page and all kinds of places. So I am so grateful to be here with you all today. I want to thank Dr. Pat especially for bringing me on the network and helping me kick off my first 2 episodes that aired in May and June 2020. So today is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020. And stay with me for this hour as I take you through a healing and empowerment journey to uplift your spirit, help you process difficult emotions, and find calm in the storms of life so that you can love yourself and others more deeply and receive support to live with passion, purpose, and peace. So that's a lot. That's a tall order for an hour, huh? So before we begin to kind of delve into some of the themes I'd like to share with you today, I just want to take a moment to just bring back sort of the intentions for my show. This is episode 3, as I said, and I'll bring a little recap of episodes 1 and 2, because really what this show is about is a healing experience for everyone who listens. And I'll be sharing about some of the coaching, healing, mentoring, counseling work I do as well. But really, I want this to just be a deep experience for you as we go through these changes in life. So much is going on in the world, so much change. So I know that also it's happening internally for all of us. And I'll just say I live by a busy road out here, so you might hear some cars go by. And I know we're all living busy lives right now. So thank you for sharing your life with me in this time and listening and tuning in with me. So I love that metaphor of tuning in. And, this is a radio show, a podcast, but also what tuning in means for me personally, and what I'd like to share with you about tuning in. And maybe you're already familiar with this concept, but I always want to kind of just take a moment at the beginning of these experiences together to tune in, to help you and myself and all of us connect together. When we tune the radio into a frequency, when we tune our phones to a certain number, or we type in an internet, HTTP www, we're going to a specific frequency. We're going to a specific code. We're tuning in with whatever we want to connect with. And so for me, tuning in is about connecting with myself and connecting with you. And so, for those of you who listen to this show live or anytime in the future in the recordings on all of the podcast networks out there, if you're ever listening to my show and driving or operating heavy machinery or doing activities that require your full attention, you're welcome to listen, but also know that some of the things that we'll be doing require a space where you can be alone by yourself and follow along with some guided healing activations and meditations that I'll be sharing with you. So luckily, there'll be recordings out there for you to listen to at a later time to go back and do some of those processes with me. So we're going to tune in together now. We're going to start this show right by connecting within. So just take a minute, and if you're not doing any of those activities, close your eyes and take a deep breath in, and then just sigh. We're going to do that one more time together. Inhale deeply and sigh. And I just want you to notice what simply doing that little activity does for you. There's so much stress going on right now, so much chaos, so much change, so much to handle and process and deal with every single day. And, that's really no different, honestly, than any other time, even though this is an unprecedented thing that we're going through collectively. But taking that deep breath and sighing, something so simple. The idea is to really connect in with your body and clear your mental space so that you can be present. Not just to be present here for me and listening to what I have to say, but present to your life, present to the moment, so that you can connect more deeply with your intuition, with others around you, and with the solutions that are available at all times to help you take the next steps that you need to take through your day. And so much of what my dialogue has been with my clients lately has been this go, 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 feeling this push, the need to get up and get out and do. And that's no different, really, than what was going on before all this. But now there's a sense of wanting to rest, too. Like, it's so heavy and I just want to sleep. I just don't know if I can get through this day. And I know that's happening for so many people, including myself. I go through these moments of just, the heaviness. And I'm going to talk about some themes today around taking courageous action and around connecting with your inner wise one. And what does it mean to live an inspired life? And sometimes those lofty goals can feel very far away when life feels heavy. And whether that's the heaviness of the collective thing that's going on right now, of the clouds and weight of confusion and fear and doubt and the unknown, and how to engage socially, or what to do that's politically correct or not politically correct, or, dealing with this sort of polarization that's going on for everyone too. I just want to talk about how all that might be affecting you personally, but also some of you might not really be affected by all of that, but more concerned with some very specific personal things that you're going through in your relationships. Maybe some old wounds are coming up that have, been lingering around, or unsolved mysteries of your inner self that have been lingering around. And I find that's really been coming up for a lot of people. I do a process, all my healing sessions right now are done virtually, which is just so amazing. I'm so glad we have this technology to do that. But I've recently been doing what's called quantum healing, or beyond quantum healing, which is a past life regression with energy healing and connecting with your guides. And it's like a 5-hour journey, and it's amazing. But what I'm noticing is that a lot of the things that people are coming to me for with that particular healing process are old wounds that are coming to the surface that maybe you thought were resolved already. And like, why are they coming back up again? That's, to me, what I'm seeing is that's an expression of the inner reality and the outer reality are mirroring each other, right? I mean, this is not anything new. This is age-old wisdom. As without, so within. This is this reminder that what's happening inside for ourselves personally is also happening for us collectively. So I just kind of want to bring that up because in the last 2 episodes of my show, I talked a lot about resilience and healing trauma and how to sort of process that trauma, what that might look like for you. All right, so I'm going to be reviewing those themes after we take this short break. Again, I'm Rachel Chase, and you're listening to the Creative Empowerment Show. And stay tuned. We'll be right back. That's nice. All right, we are back on the Creative Empowerment Show, Invoking Radical Love, with me, your host, Rachel Chase. And yes, you can find out more about my coaching, healing, and online courses at rachelchase.com. So, we left off talking about this idea of processing trauma, building resilience, and tuning in. So tuning in is the most powerful principle, I believe, that is required and necessary for healing, because this is the mind-body connection. And so I'm going to kind of bring us through a little bit of a journey here to connect with the sense of this courageousness that is required, I think, of all of us right now to step into this next phase of growth for all of us, because we really are being pushed to grow and to adapt. That adaptability is so crucial right now. And maybe there are this sense within that there's something in the way of being able to do that. So we're going to do a little process to clear that. And connect in with what inspires you to take any action at all. I want to bring up a little quote before we do that, by one of my favorite spiritual teachers, Pema Chodron. And she writes in her book, Comfortable with Uncertainty. I'm just going to read this quote. The central question of a warrior's training is not how we avoid uncertainty and fear, but how we relate to discomfort. How do we practice with difficulty, with our emotions, with the unpredictable encounters of an ordinary day? An ordinary day. So that's the end of the quote. Just thinking about that, sitting with that idea of an ordinary day and the ebbs and flows of the day emotionally, that we go through these ebbs and flows in our day. And sometimes, we don't want to feel those uncomfortable feelings. We want to dismiss them. We want to just switch them off and just suddenly be positive, or maybe we don't want to be overcome by them. We're afraid that they're going to overcome us and take us over. So right now we are in no ordinary days. And yet, what is ordinary, right? What is normal anyways? So, I'm just going to wanted to bring that into this process today, because this idea of being courageous, it may sound like, oh, that means I have to go take up the cross and fight big and bold. And maybe that is where you're at. Maybe you are able to do that. But maybe it's just a simple act of courage to turn and face those difficult emotions inside. And so when we do that, when we face the difficult emotions inside and sit with those wounds and breathe and bring an awareness that there is something behind the scenes within you that knows what to do, we can create space to connect with that part of yourself that knows what to do. So, one of the intentions of the show today is about how to know what to do in times of chaos. And sometimes it just feels like, oh my God, everything's so different now. I just don't know what to do. And we're searching outside of ourselves for that answer, perhaps. We're Googling it. We're asking a trusted friend. We're looking for advice. What do I do? What do I do? Well, what is everyone else doing? Let's find out what they're doing so that I know what to do. We want to latch on to what the collective says because there's an expert or there's a rule out there that can tell us what to do. And when it comes, though, to your own personal choice and decision and living your truth and what it is you're trying to create in your life, with all the chaos, it can feel stifling, perhaps. So what I want us to do today is to unstifle and to clear some of that heaviness and access that sense of courageousness inside, so that you can then allow that aspect of your being that knows what to do to come forward. And when we do that, what we're doing in that process is creating space. Space. And it requires breath to create that space. So I'm taking you through this awareness right now of the way in which suffering can lead to wisdom, of how listening to your intuition and the gut and the heart can reduce those levels of anguish and fear and rage and confusion that are clouding our minds, to access that place within where freedom is. And that's what I mean when I say access your light body consciousness awareness. So this idea of creative empowerment, right? What is creative empowerment? What is invoking radical love? Why does my show have that name? And what does that have anything to do with what I'm talking about? Because when we do not feel empowered, we need to use some creativity, some ingenuity, right? To access the intuition inside of ourselves. So I'm bringing some of those themes from episodes 1 and 2 into this now. And the other element of this has to do with active imagination. Active imagination. And so this is this idea in our culture that says, well, it's all in your head. You're just making it up. Your imagination isn't real. That's just this place you go to escape reality, right? Imagination isn't really a thing. Well, it's interesting because it depends on where you're coming from with that. I worked with a group of amazing musicians yesterday. I've been doing this support for some digital musician performers. They're incredible. And when I said to them, you know, imagination is the most powerful force in the universe, I got all these nods, you know, because we're on Zoom and everybody's nodding and of course they know that. They know that because without the imagination, they wouldn't be creating the work they do. They wouldn't be able to put it out there into the world, you know, and without your imagination, you wouldn't be able to kind of find out what's right for you and how to go about your day, honestly. Because yes, we live by rules and we have regulations and we have lists and plans. But truly, when you are able to access the inner landscape of your imagination and allow the creativity within yourself to flow and work with others in that field of creative action, then courage can come forward. So, yes, I'm kind of moving around tangentially here before we go into our invocation and our light body activation today, because I want us to connect in with some of these themes and see what is coming up for you internally when I talk about this stuff. You know, what does your body feel like when we look at old wounds, or when we talk about being creative in our empowerment or radical love? You know, how does that settle with you? You know, maybe it's a pipe dream, you know, but maybe it's the answer. maybe this radical love idea of being ultimately in a space of unconditional love for yourself and all that is within you can help you connect with the world in that way too. And imagine if we all did that together, right? And that is the space of collective intention. So that collective intention together can heal, and I truly believe this, and I see this happening in families and groups and organizations. I mean, this is when you get people together to really access what I'm calling the third chakra power, this place in our gut where we can align with divine will, that higher will that shows us what's possible. That's where the power is. The third chakra is the energy and the metaphor, this area in our bodies that represents on physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels how to move into courage. So just take a breath for a moment and feel your breath down in your belly. Take a big breath and then just release. We process our emotions here in our belly area. I've been teaching yoga and meditation for a long time, so breath work and understanding the wisdom of the body is truly where I'm coming from with all of this. And then we can move into those spaces of consciousness and creation, because when we're able to work with the body and really connect with our body, we can listen to the wisdom that's in here and clear that heaviness, make peace with all those wounds, forgive. Doesn't mean that sadness doesn't still happen. It doesn't mean that we don't still feel pain or suffering. But what it means is we know what to do when they come. We know how to handle the uncomfortableness. We know how to sit with what is happening inside of ourselves. And that's the wisdom of mindfulness, right? To be with what is rather than running from it. So just take a moment here to be with what is in your body, in your breath. And maybe there's anxiety, maybe there's this, that, or the other, and that's okay. The idea is getting to the point where you can be with it, where you can not only feel this, but you can also feel this, and this, and this, and this. And that's the capacity to hold space for whatever's happening inside, and probably multiple things. It's probably not just one thing. And maybe we don't need to figure it all out or get all of the answers to what's going on inside. But what we can do is bring a compassionate, kind awareness to it, to find that courage inside, to listen within and create some lightness. So light as in light, the sun, but also light as in not heavy. And it doesn't mean we're trying to fight against the heaviness either. But it does mean that we know that within our beings there is wisdom here to access inside, rather than running away from what is happening inside. We can hold space for it, and then holding space for what's inside can help you hold space for others too, and maybe difficult situations in your life, or relationships, or those wounds that you're healing. And this is where intention comes in, right? So take another breath with me here. And just bringing to mind whatever your personal intention is for healing here. Whatever it is that you feel that you would like to move more courageously into in your life. Maybe there's some emotions that have been coming up for you. It's a very watery, emotional sort of time that's happening here. We're in this new moon energy still this week, and this is where we can tap into the wisdom of astrology here a little bit to see what's going on with all this emotional energy, and then this desire to feel safe as well. So we've had 2 back-to-back new moons in the sign of Cancer. Cancer represents the moon, and it represents emotions, and it represents water, and it also represents the need for deep self-care of your home and of your family and of your body. And sometimes it might not feel like you have the energy or time to do those deep self-care things, but there's an urge within you that just wants everything to be okay right here in your space, right? So looking at that, it might bring some wisdom in to understand that, oh, okay, I can take advantage of this moment, this watery energy, and process some of those emotions, because there's a lot of support right now for that. So if you're taking care of those internal emotions, allowing them to move, again, coming back to then being able to create space to listen in to that inner wise one within yourself. So what is your intention right now? You know, what is your need in the moment? Maybe there's an inner need that you have that you would like to fulfill for yourself. You know, and bringing up that intention is so beautiful, to look at it and to consider it. Maybe there's a word that you can think of that represents how you'd like to go about treating yourself on a day-to-day basis this next month or so. Something that you would like to harness right now. Maybe it's just slowing down, finding a way to even do that. Or maybe it's giving yourself words of encouragement that provide that answer to that need that you have within, that part of yourself that is asking for healing or asking for truth or needing an answer to something. Or maybe it's your business. Maybe you have intentions for what you're creating going forward, or that you'd like to attract a certain kind of work into your life, or partner, or engage in a certain way with your family members. Or maybe it's just about your home life, that you're wanting it to feel more authentic and true to you. As you're changing, your environment may need to change. And you can just think of a small step that you can take. It doesn't have to be moving mountains right now. We don't have to do it all in a day. I know there feels like there needs to be big changes made in the world to answer, these questions that we have. And I know people are suffering. But within yourself, how can you speak to that with an intention that says, this is what I'm willing to do to shift the energy in my life, to move more creatively throughout my day, to do the things that you know will help you connect more deeply with your truth. Yeah. So just sitting with that for a moment. Just sitting with that, this idea of your intention or your theme. I'm going to take a little break here, and I want you to bring that intention back with you when we come back. Just kind of consider it over the break here. And when we come back, we're going to do some healing processes around that theme. We're here on the Transformation Talk Radio Network, and I'm Rachel Chase. This is the Creative Empowerment Show, and we will be back in just a bit. Hi, everybody. We're back. I'm Rachel Chase. And so I hope you still have your intention and are just holding that in your mind and in your heart. And I want to talk about the power of your intention. And I know other teachers talk a lot about intention as well, because it's a powerful thing. And from my perspective, your energy is your intention. And what does that mean? Your energy is your intention. So I'm a Reiki master teacher also, and when I teach energy healing and when I teach people how to do energy healing for themselves, I talk a lot about how to understand your emotional, mental, and energetic expression, and what is it you're putting out into the world. So yes, we're human beings. We have emotions. We're up and down. We're all over the place. It doesn't mean we have to be positive no matter what and just project positivity and only have positivity. But what is that? What is that? We don't want to deny ourselves the truth of being a human being, right? It's called spiritual bypassing, by the way, when we just kind of push those more hard to deal with emotions out of the way and just jump over to we want to just be in the bliss state all the time. And bliss is great, don't get me wrong, I love bliss and I love to meditate and I love to use mantra and visualization and healing and all of that. But what's really, really important is to understand that whatever your intention is your energy around it. So it's very important every day to do energetic hygiene, to connect with source energy inside of yourself. Use your breath, connect with earth, and visualize light coming into your body. Imagine light, connecting with light. I mean, light is in all the wisdom traditions, right? The light is how we remember that we are light. This is how we lighten up. This is how we bring that softness into our being and allow the love energy into our lives. And so if our intention is to simply receive healing energy, or to be more tender with ourselves, or to be kind, or to create or manifest something or attract something into our lives, we always want to add into that mix this remembering of holding space for allowing the highest and best for whatever is happening to come through for yourself and others. So we're going to do a little bit of a process now. I'm going to do the invocation part of the show and the guided meditation part of the show and the visualization part of the show now. And then after we take another little break at the end, I'll talk more about my work and some of the events that are coming up for me. And if you have to run, you can go to my website, rachelchase.com, and sign up for my newsletter. I'll be sending out some information soon about some new courses I have, a Spiritual Warrior Women's training and workshop. And then also you can always book a coaching, healing session or a mentoring or counseling session with me through my website. Check it out, rachelchase.com. So now we're going to move into the healing part. It's all healing, of course, but we're going to do the guided meditation and visualization now. So if you are in that space where you can close your eyes, I invite you to do so and just start to come into your body and your breath. Breathe in deep, breathe out slow. And I want you to just allow your imagination to kick in and imagine that you are a perfect, beautiful, open channel for light energy to flow through your body. And imagine that your whole body right now is held in the earth, that you are held and nurtured by the divine mother or Mother Earth, that which connects you with the oneness of all. And just envision that this earth energy is coming into your body. And as you breathe in and out, your breath energy and the earth breath energy are connected. And whatever this means to you, to connect with your source energy, to connect with source. Maybe that's God, maybe that's Goddess, maybe that's the unified field, maybe that's light. Maybe that's just an idea that you know that there's some sourceness within everything. Maybe it's about consciousness. Whatever that means to you, intend that you're connecting with source energy and keep breathing. And maybe open your palms here to receive. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe, that the energy of source and your inner power starts to grow. Keep breathing. Maybe some of those old wounds or sense of the uncomfortable comes up a little bit. And when that happens, just go down into your body and notice where you're feeling that energy right now. And what does it feel like? Maybe it's tightness in the belly or the heart or the throat or the head, or it's a heaviness, or it's Maybe you can imagine it as a shape or a color or a certain sensation. Just keep breathing as you hold space in your awareness with compassion for whatever is sort of coming up within you right now. So we're using the mind and the breath. This isn't about relying on me or anyone else to heal you. This is about you connecting in with your inner wise one and your inner healer, the archetype that you have. Everyone has this. We all have this within us. Maybe you haven't tapped in with it before, and it might be a new conversation you're creating with that part of yourself. But you have it. Everyone has this. So just take a couple more breaths here and connect in with that awareness in your body and the source energy. And we're going to do a little bit of processing for that third chakra today, to process any stuck energy in the gut, because your gut is always giving you truth, information about what is true, what is false. And we need to learn its language. We need to clear your channel or clear your body. So maybe even bringing your arms up in the air and taking a breath and inviting in that energy, and then bringing your arms down all around your body and your hands around your energy field, and sweeping through your body with your hands and all around you, just making some motions with your hands around you. Breathing in and out. It doesn't have to be done in a perfect form or a perfect way. There are so many technologies, Qigong and Tai Chi and yoga, but sometimes it's just about trusting that your breath and your body and the movements that you're making are innately just for you. That's the medicine that you need just for you, and that your body knows what to do. Just keep breathing, maybe even placing your hands on your heart center or your belly, right over that third chakra. That's your gut. It's the belly underneath the rib cage. And we're going to imagine a beautiful yellow light right now, right there in your belly. Breathe in and out. And sound is such a powerful healer too. So we use sound now as well. There are many mantras, there are many sounds, but I'm going to invite you to kind of do a little toning with me right now in your gut. And the toning sound can be, it's a vowel sound. It's kind of guttural because it's down low. Keep breathing. You might feel totally weird doing this. It's okay. Just keep breathing. Keep those hands on your belly if they're, or wherever they are. And just start making some sound down in your belly, like see if you can project the vibration down in your belly. Feeling that vibration in your belly is like a massage. It's soothing to that whole area, and it might even be soothing other areas in your body too. Breathe in and out. Make another sound, maybe ram, ram, ram. That's a seed sound from yoga. Ram, ram, ram. Just making some sound in your belly here. And then breathe in again. And if you can bring your arms in the air again, we're just going to sweep them back down through. Envision that yellow light coming all the way through like a golden light, all through your body, clearing and releasing some heaviness. And then come back to your intention, your statement from earlier, your word. And imagine that word is being projected from the inner wise one, the compassionate one inside of yourself. And what would that part of you say to you right now that you need to hear? Maybe it's just a simple word, maybe it's a message, maybe it's an image, maybe it's a solution to a problem you're having. And just hold that for a moment. Hold that for a moment. And take another breath. And just take note right now of how your body is feeling, what the sensations are you're feeling in your body. And I know for many of you listening right now, maybe you're used to a lot of talk on talk radio, right? Not so much process, but just so you know, for those of you out here, I know you're out there looking for this type of thing. That's what my show is about. It's about accessing your higher self expansion, your inner expression of the higher self or the higher mind or the part of you that is what I call the inner wise one. This is what we mean when we say we're accessing the universal field for expanding consciousness and self-realization. This is sovereignty. This is you finding out how to operate on your own authority from within yourself and building that connection, which is really the most important thing that we can all do right now at this time. And all times, truly, it's the most important thing that we can all do. I truly believe that. I'm going to share with you some closing insights and some closing messages from today about this idea of courage and taking action and this idea of, radical love in the world. It can sound, again, I've said this before, but it can sound like a tall order, right? To be that force of radical love in the world. But really what that means is to be it for yourself. And that expression of who you are is the gift to the world. Your life matters. Your wisdom matters. Everyone has wisdom. What have you learned in your life? And how are you bringing that forward into your world? And for others. And a lot of people that I work with and support and mentor and coach and guide and do healing work for, I know who you are. You're the helpers, you're the healers, you're the artists, you're the guides. And we all need support. I need support. We all do. We all need encouragement and to be reminded that our energy matters and our contribution to the world matters. The way that we uplift others matters. And just by being you and leaning into those inner realms of beauty and love and awareness, you are shining your light and you are sharing your gifts. So whatever you're doing, it is enough. You have all those answers inside of you. And it's really worth it to find out what your inner self, your true self, your wise one within wants for you. And what does it want to offer? And it's time to listen deeply to that. It's just time, right? So if you're still in that meditative state, take some breaths and stretch your body and move. Get some water. It's always important to drink plenty of water. And remember to take some minutes out of your day to breathe. Do those breathing exercises. You need to do those breathing exercises. So inhaling and exhaling. For those of you who'd like to do some more work with me or find out about any of my upcoming online events, you can go to rachelchase.com. Book a session with me, sign up for my newsletter. And this Friday night is my Cosmic Wisdom online support group where you can connect with other like-minded souls and receive mental and emotional healing and support through my spiritual lens with oracle card readings, meditations, energy healing, and group energy through Zoom. So we're all on Zoom together. And to register for this, it's just $11. So you can find that on my homepage, on my website at rachelchase.com. I'm also all over the place on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube at Rachel Chase Creative Empowerment. And I just want to thank you all for tuning in today to episode 3 of my new show, the Creative Empowerment Show, Invoking Radical Love, on the incredible Transformation Talk Radio Network. I hope this experience has fed your soul and inspired you to take courageous action for your well-being today. And please join me every fourth Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, and 11 a.m. Pacific Time. I will see you next month right here, same channel, Transformation Talk Radio. Thank you to the producers of this show for your fantastic support and dedication to being here with me today. And I am so grateful for you all. So remember, take deep breaths, drink lots of water, and connect in with what you need today. Peace and blessings, everyone.